An I-team investigation 3 years in the making.
Oh, it is wrong. I think it's wrong.
The law saying how the VA would pay emergency bills was changed in the name of that outraged veteran. But a lingering loophole our I-team has uncovered means all veterans could still be on the line to fully pay for their own emergency care. That Korean War veteran has a warning for every U.S. veteran. He gave his first ever interview to the newest member of our I-team. This is Matthew Simon. Welcome, Matthew. And you broke this national story, which impacts people here.
Right, you think about it, think about all the folks who are veterans, 95,000 of them living right here in the Miami Valley, and any one of these veterans could be Richard Staab, the Korean War veteran for nearly 1 decade. He's been fighting to have the VA pay him back thousands in outstanding emergency bills, and as it turns out, the VA's own rule to pay for non-VA emergency care is named after Staab. But a loophole in the Staab rule could leave any veteran vulnerable to massive medical debt if it's not fixed.
I was in basic training. That's when they took that picture, I believe.
Okay, here's another one, Dick.
Looking back at some of his basic training memories with his friend Jackie.
Oh, that's the group of guys.
Also brings back remembering the promise 86-year-old Korean War Air Force veteran Richard Staab says his country made to him.
You enlist with us, you get all health care taken care of, and this and that. That was the big thing back then.
But when he survived emergency open-heart surgery at a non-VA hospital after suffering a heart attack and stroke in 2010, the retired Sergeant Airman First Class could not quite put into words.
Not too hard?
Yeah, I know.
How he feels that promise was broken.
Let's face it, you don't like to talk about sadness. You'd rather talk about things that are cheerful.
The VA saying after he survived, the way they interpreted the law because he had other insurance, that Medicare had covered part of his non-VA emergency care, they would not reimburse him for any of the remaining $48,000 in bills.
Oh, it is wrong. I think it's wrong.
These are Dick's files, and they're largely comprised of medical records here, appeals, pleadings here.
And also a big whiteboard inside the office of Staab's St. Cloud, Minnesota lawyer Jackie Shue, who's also a veteran, shows the journey of VA denials representing Richard Staab's case for most of the last 8 years.
So it's got to be fixed. I mean, it's sad to say that what has been promised to Dick and all other veterans who have that vested benefit is not what they're receiving.
During the course of our 3-year investigation, a House Veterans Affairs Committee spokesperson confirmed 1 year ago more than 1 million Staab-related veterans claims were waiting to be processed. That included the VA confirming 217,000 veterans nationally waiting for an answer. Refunds the VA estimated would mean having to add hundreds of millions of dollars to their budget. But now the VA says with the Staab rule published and all claims processed, they cannot tell us who's been refunded. They cannot even tell us if any veterans have died waiting for their refund. And with the publication of the Staab rule came an unforeseen obstacle.
The problem with the new regulation is the VA came up with a different reason for why they shouldn't reimburse veterans who have some private insurance.
Bart Stichman is the executive director of the National Veterans Legal Services Program. He previously was part of the team representing Staab nationally and is now fighting the VA's emergency care denials with the class action lawsuit. While Staab's court victory specified the VA has to pay the rest of a non-VA emergency bill, even if a veteran has other insurance, they say that's not happening, and the VA is rejecting claims anyway. Also saying the VA added the words deductible and co-insurance to the part of the Staab rule, allowing the VA not to pay for co-payments.
And the VA is trying to drive a Mack truck through that minor exception so that everything that you could possibly reimburse a veteran for is not subject to reimbursement.
Should you cry for all the other servicemen that haven't got theirs just?
Even after Richard Staab had a law named after him.
It's just not me. It's all the other ones.
He still does not have his refund, and based on his case, he and his lawyer do not think any other veteran does either.
This impacts every military member currently serving, past, currently serving, and future, until it's fixed.
Shu says just look no further than Staab surviving another stroke in 2017. The VA is now using his own law, the Staab rule, to cite cost shares or deductibles associated with his other health insurance to reject payment for his non-VA emergency care.
But I just can't believe in my heart that that would have been Congress's intent.
So Richard Staab, this one Minnesota veteran, chooses to continue fighting this epic battle.
Life is a battle, isn't it?
Hoping someday he and the hundreds of thousands of veterans he represents will finally see justice.
And you got to have hope that things will work out. You made the right decisions. And let's face it, not everything goes that smooth.
Now, numerous public records requests to the VA from our I-Team have gone unanswered. A congressional aide tells the I-Team only one single $12 reimbursement has ever been made under the Staab rule. And Cheryl, the MDLSP, that's this national group here, telling me that my own reporting is referenced in this class action lawsuit. Those oral arguments will start next week.
And even now, Matthew, we continue learning new details about the Staab case.
Right. Richard Staab's case continues. There's a lot of back and forth. The Board of Veterans Appeals is insisting most of Staab's rehab bills because he chose to be at a private non-VA facility. His lawyer tells the I-Team after having a heart attack and stroke, he simply could not communicate. So as I said, the back and forth continues. And there's two important notes here. Under federal law, if a veteran dies, their benefit dies with them. And remember, in the big picture, the VA's testified through the years by their own admission, settling Staab could mean billions added to their budget.
It's very sad, but excellent reporting. Thank you, Matthew Simon. Our digital extra is live online and in our app now. It breaks down how the Staab rule is supposed to work. If you know a veteran impacted by the Staab rule, Matthew Simon and the I-Team wants to hear from you. You can call our tip line at 937-259-2143 or email us on the I-Team page of WHIO.com.